Hello, everyone. Guess what? It is Thursday. It is our very first episode for season 3. Yes, so we are here today again, and we must say Thankful Thursday. Yes, we don't got to wait for Thanksgiving to say Thanksgiving Thursday or Happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is every single day, every day. So today is Thursday. So we are going to say Thanksgiving Thursday. So, whatever you are thankful for, yes, we are here to celebrate you as we celebrate ourselves. Tonight. You know what we do on Thursday. You know how we do on Thursday. Thursday we come in, Thursday we get popping, Thursday we anything can happen on Thursday. I love Thursday because Thursday anything could happen on this show. You know, I'm your host, Verona Willis-Brown. And I oftentimes tell you, I don't plan Thursdays, but Thursday always work itself out. So if you're ready, then we are ready. Because I hope you have all your stuff ready. You have the opportunity right now. I'm going to give you 5 seconds right now to go get yourself something to drink. Get yourself a notebook, get yourself a pen, and come back. Or yet, go use the bathroom. Because we are going to have a blast. We're going to have juicy contents. We're going to have a fabulous time tonight. Yes. So, if you're ready, let me know you're ready. And wherever you're tuning in from, let me know because I won't tell you what's going to happen. You just have to sit back, relax, and be ready. So tonight's guest, I will have him introduce himself. But tonight's guest is coming and coming just right. Tonight's guest is opening this episode where we are going to have fun, laughter, and the truth. That's it. The truth. Z truth, C truth, whatever truth you want to call it. We are going to have fun, laughter, some goody stuff. And we are going to get the truth. What is your truth? How do you define your truth? Because brother coming up, let me tell you, I always come ready because here I have my pen, my paper, because I'm ready to write some juicy contents. Again, you have an opportunity to go get yourself something to quench your thirst because the truth must be told one way or the other. So without further ado, do you want to know who is coming up? Because I'm ready to let you know who we will be having as our special guest tonight. So without further ado, let me welcome our special guest tonight. He goes by C2 or C2 for real. Whichever way, he's just bringing in the truth. My dear brother, welcome to the question. How are you?
I'm doing great, my sister. Thank you for this opportunity to be on your podcast, your show, your platform. Once again, people, it is your boy C Truth. Most know me by C Truth, but I also go by the name, like she just stated, C Truth for real. So I'm here live and up front and ready, to answer any questions and tell you a little bit about myself and, future projects. So I'm going to tell me what's up, what's going on today.
Listen, first of all, let us know where you're tuning in from. And yes, give us a little bit of who See Truth is.
Okay, sure, no problem. Actually, right now, as we speak, I am tuning in from Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where I reside now. But let's get back to my roots. I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York. Brooklyn, New York.
Brooklyn!
Brooklyn is in the building, but I'm originally from Brooklyn, New York, born and raised in East New York, Brooklyn. Um, a lot, I was born in a time where, my mom's instilled in me a lot of good things that, as I got older, that I can carry forth. Some of those transcended from just having, back then we were more on morals and principles, and we lived by those things, and so it carried over as an adult. And so, I got deeply involved in at a young age. I think about maybe 16 or 17 into heavily reading about Black history and reading about, oppression and stuff and racism that we were dealing with. So I've been reading about this for over, 20 or 30 years, and me and a couple of other friends that were able to grasp certain books off the table in New York that you can't even get right now. You can't
No,
even order them online. They removed all of that because they don't want us to have knowledge of self. So, but I'm definitely representing Brooklyn. I definitely I lived on the West Coast for a couple of years as well, out in the Bay Area in San Francisco. So I've been around. I done lived in Atlanta. I'm kind of well rounded. I've been a couple of places. So I'm seasoned. I've been around.
you're a traveler, I see.
Yeah, I like to because I believe that you need to expand. In order to know something and go through experiences, you can't stay in. You gotta step outside your box to get an idea to see how the world is. And God didn't just make New York. There's many places that you can go to,
Absolutely.
but you just have to step out of your comfort zone to learn different languages, how people live,
Different
and
culture.
right, more culture, and it makes you more broad and aware of things. So
Yes.
it expands your territory and your mindset as well because you'll see things in a different way. You know.
And that is absolutely true, because that's what we're talking about, the truth. That is absolutely true because the more you stretch your mind to somebody else's culture, somebody else, you will learn from them and they will learn from you. That is the whole process of life. For me to learn from you and for you to learn from me. So how can I learn only from myself, stuck with my own culture, and they say this is about us? No. Us mean the entire world. And like you said, you're a traveler. Yeah, I'm a traveler too. So right now I'm in North Carolina with you.
Look at it.
So I love it. I'm a traveler. I am world traveler. So I get around and I'm like, okay, I love this. I'm in different places. Okay.
Absolutely.
So I get it. I get it. So when you bounce here, you learn something, then you go. You learn something, then you go. You
That's
learn
right.
something, and that's expansion.
Right. But one thing I want to mention to those who may be listening, and for those who may not have the opportunity to go different places, and I understand certain situations and circumstances prohibit a lot of us from not being able to do certain things. But
Yes.
what I will say is, if you let fear limit you, you will not be able to grow. That doesn't matter if it's traveling or in whatever you're trying to
Whatever it
do
is.
in your life. But if you let fear always stagnate you, you're never going to be able to get an opportunity. I just want to share this with the viewers. I read a book maybe 20 years ago. I remember this girl gave it to me, and I was working one of the jobs, and I was young, and this girl gave me this book that I have a copy of it now. I gotta find it. It's in my stash, but it's called Niggas to God. And in
Mm.
that book, it was a book illustrated for young Black men and Black women. And in that book, it stated that one of the things that it stated that if you don't step out of it. Well, no, let me correct that. What it stated was that if would you rather be on your deathbed and saying, I wish I would have did this instead of
Mm,
doing this? And then a lot of us got to ask ourselves and still dream and envision, where do we see ourselves 5 years from now? Ask
absolutely.
yourself that, because if you're just going through life without a plan or a goal, you're just flowing through life. I think every individual should still have a vision, a dream. Not only have a vision and dream, but also write it down as well. Write down your goals, your visions, and dreams so you can actually see it with your own eyes,
Yes.
and then start, um, you know,
Living
taking
it out.
it off and attacking that list. But if you don't have a goal or plan for your life or a vision and dream, and you don't take the proper steps to make it manifest, it's not going to happen in your life. So I'm just, this is encouraging words for those who may be listening to this live stream, this platform, that you're the author of your own book. You decide how the beginning is going to start and how the conclusion is going
Absolutely.
to be. It's your choice. It's not in nobody else's hands. And we got to stop pointing fingers at other people of why things are not right in our life. It's up to us to make that decision, to
Hmm.
fulfill our dreams, whatever your goal is, whatever your dreams are. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. I don't care if you're crippled, crazy, whatever it
Once
is.
you have life.
You have
Once you
like,
have life.
and every day that God gives you, that you
Yes.
get up, you get another opportunity to pursue that. So thank God for that. So keep on
Yes.
dreaming, keep on pursuing, never give up, because all things is possible, and all things is possible with our God, because there's nothing He can't do that's impossible. So just encouraging words for people.
You better speak that truth here today. Because there's nothing. And once you are up, once you are awakened, once you're literally up, your eyes are open, you have breath, that's an opportunity.
Yeah, most definitely. I agree with you. So, what got me on this path, in regards to, writing my book, for those who don't know me, my name is C Truth. And this is actually my first book. And I'll get into, how this all came about. And I
Yeah,
know,
because we're going to talk about
yeah,
it.
definitely. We're going to talk about this book, but this is my first written book. I didn't want to write anything big or glamorous, because I just feel like I'm a meat and potato guy. Let's get to it. I don't want to fill you up with rice cakes and you come out you're still hungry. So I wanted to make it short and brief and get to the point, and just give you actual facts about history, inspirational, about spirituality, about awareness, about the oppression, about systematic racism, about our own Black history and the great people of our past that you may not even know about. So this book is more than just um, about empowering Black women. There's also
Yes.
some messages in here about for Black men, because we play a significant role in our Black women lives, and we need to come to the front. More men need to step up and come to the front, because the women have taken on roles that they wasn't supposed to take on roles. And if you look at spirituality wise, and when you talk about God, He had already set the standards for how it should be: God first, man, woman, child. But a lot
Yes.
of us, I'm just speaking as for my culture. I can't speak for any other culture, but a lot of us Black men have let the woman take the lead
Responsibility.
responsibility, because I'm just telling the truth. That's why they call me See Truth. And when you speak the truth, a lot of people are not going to like you, but that's understandable, because that's the time we live in. Like I always,
Yes.
one of my best friend Rob always say, hey, the lie is the new truth, and the truth is a lie now. So, but the truth to the matter is, a lot of men have become selfish, and a lot of them being irresponsible, and we have walked away from our children, from our responsibilities, and just threw it on the woman's lap to take on certain things. But that's not how God ordained it. We were supposed to be leaders in our household, leaders in our communities, leaders in the church. But a lot of us have stepped away from that, because the enemy,
Yes.
the devil, has got us deceived, lost, and confused. And we need to get back to the roots, and we're letting other things distract us and gain our attention, and we're living up to a false image and we're not even living up our purpose. We're living in a false image that the enemy has everyone deceived into living. And those who wish to oppress us have us. They done stamped a stamp of approval of an image of us that how we should be, and we're living up to that, and we're better than that. But how do you know who you are if you don't know your past or your history, or you're not interested in knowing that?
And you
And
got to know who created you.
right, you got to
It
know.
all starts with the creator. When
Right,
you acknowledge the creator, you will know who you are. That's how it all started. You must acknowledge the creator. Because if you don't, how can you say, I know who I am, but you don't know who you belong to? Who do you
absolutely.
belong to? Who created you? I know who I am because I know who I belong to. And that's the point we have to reach. We have to reach to that point where it said, I know who I am. Because so many of us struggle to find our authentic self because we put on this camouflage and we try to play this role, but we're not. And to find our authentic self is a struggle. Why? Why? The question is why? Because you refuse to accept who you are and where you came from.
Right. So I would
It's
get
simple.
So I would definitely get into that, because when you talk about accepting roles, and let's be honest about it, and I'm a living example and proof of that. So for me, I'm just speaking for me, and I'm
Yes.
sure there's a lot of individuals, because I grew up in that type of neighborhood environment where I came from. A lot of us came from fatherless homes. So when you don't have a man to teach you how to be a man, you're gonna adapt ways from your environment. And so I'm just being honest, and there's so many environments. This don't have to be Brooklyn. This is around the world, and you see
Yes.
it in different states and different countries, wherever you may be from. But the behavior that we adapted was destructive behavior, which leads to us being, whether you're being a womanizer, a criminal, drug addict, whatever it is. We picked up these ways from the environment, the neighborhoods that we grew up in, because we all know when you come from poverty areas, there is some productive people that come from out of poverty, but for most part, you're around death all the time, drugs,
Yes.
alcohol. You the standards are you have to be the man, the flyest dresser. You have to be the one that can get all the
You have to
women.
be the one.
You got to be known as the toughest. So we picked up this mentality, and all of these ways will not help you in the real world, because you can't put it on your resume. You can't go to job. It's
Absolutely.
not a skill. It's
Absolutely.
not a skill. And so what
Absolutely.
happened is with that, and I'm living proof of that, because I come from that environment. But lucky for me, I had enough sense to play both sides of the fence.
Yes.
From for a lot of individuals and my peers that I see, a lot haven't graduated from that type of mentality, and we're talking 30, 40 years later. And then when you look back, you'll discover I can't do anything because I wasted 30, 40 years of my life being unproductive with that type of mentality. So that's all you know. And so
Yeah.
and so what happens with that type of mentality, a lot of our men either get lost in the system, they lose their confidence, and then they'll try to succumb. Then they get compounded by succumbing it with drugs, alcohol, and violence. So everything has a domino effect to it. But we need to get back to who we are. But it all starts with building a relationship with the Creator, God. And to be honest with you, the black man is disconnected from God. And that's
Totally.
why
Totally.
it's definitely a disconnection. And all of that disconnection comes from a lack of faith and not wanting to be obedient and change.
Because they want to have their own God. They want to have their own God. They want to have their own way. They have just rebellious. They want to have their own way. This is what pleases me. All the fandangles, all the jingles, all the sparkles, all of this, the glitz and the glams is what pleases man. Man look at the eyes and like, oh, all this fancy stuff is what I want. Yes, but who is the creator is what you're eliminating. And when you put him in front, he said, if you put me in front, we all right. If you just put me, just acknowledge me first. When you acknowledge me first, then everything else is yours.
Right. And so for those who don't know, and it's in God's word, whether you read your Bible or not, and God is not a lie. He does not lie. This is his word. He said, if you seek my kingdom first, I will give you everything else after the desires of your heart. If you
Right.
seek my kingdom first and be obedient. And so right now, the enemy, the devil, got a lot of people deceived with the pleasures of the world: money, sex, partying, cars, jobs, houses. He got you distracted, binded up because you're chasing after these things, and it's holding you bondage and in captive. So a lot of people, and this is not nothing. There's nothing wrong with having these things, but you got to ask yourself,
No, no,
what
because it's there.
is
I
there?
mean, it's resources. So
Right.
why not have it? But don't put it in front of God.
Right. So what are you idolizing is the question. Like you stated,
Right.
is money your God?
Believe me, sometimes your wife is God.
Right. Everything else can be God.
Everything else can be a God.
And if you don't learn in life, as we all learn, I'm still learning, you got to learn how to have a balance. Too much of anything will
It's not
consume you.
good.
Right.
It's
So,
not good.
so just getting back to, I have a deep concern about our culture because I see um we we have elevated in some places because I love to see black people with education, young black people graduating from college. I am so glad to see that some of our youngsters, and then I see black people, making progress with homeowners and owning businesses, and such people like yourself, and even myself, and trying to be entrepreneurs and starting a
Yes.
platform for people. So, we have done great things, but there are some things that still worry me about my people, and some things that I notice and see that they're trying to do to us that we're not aware, and we're playing right into their hands as we speak. So, if you don't mind, I want to get back to where this all originated from.
Yes. Can we get, yeah. How did you, first of all, I want to acknowledge Jennifer. Jennifer, thank you for showing up here today. Thank you for being here, Jennifer. First of all, I look at that book and it gave me a flashback to my school days, younger school days. And it was those times after school that you got to get a peanut butter and jelly sandwich after school. That
Right.
was a snack. That was a snack. We were coming up with a snack. You get home, you gotta have that peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and you gonna whip that up and get your piece of white bread, wheat bread, your white bread, your Wonder bread, slap it on there, and you're good to go. So
Absolutely.
I saw that book, and I said, "Oh, I don't know." I said, "Oh, gave me a flashback there. I wonder." But then I turned the pages and I'm like, where the peanut butter and jelly? Where's the sandwich up in here? Where's the sandwich up in here? So
So, uh,
before you present that book, I want to make a presentation here because I want to ask the audience, what was your favorite peanut butter? So let us take a look and see what we have here. I was just giving a clue.
yeah, I would
I
have to.
was just giving a clue. Okay, so I asked the question again. What was your favorite peanut butter?
Well, if you're referring to me or the
To you
listeners,
and the audience can put in their answer in the comment section. And I asked you, what was your favorite peanut butter and jelly?
Well, I would definitely have to go with Skippy and Smuckers. I grew up off of Smuckers, so it would definitely have to be peanut butter and it had to be Skippy and Smuckers. That was my jelly growing up. So I'm a '70s baby, so I grew up off of Smuckers.
The grape jelly.
Yes, the grape jelly. My mom used to make me eat that. But back then they had all the flavors: orange, marmalade, and all of that. So, strawberry preserve. So
Right now.
yeah, so I grew up off of that. So that's basically, what we grew up off of.
And I see. I stay with the peanut butter because I used to just scoop the peanut butter out of the jar and just eat it. Like let's not mix my peanut butter with no jelly now. Just give me the straight peanut butter, and I'm
Well,
good to go.
well, there's different ways that you can flip that peanut butter and crackers. You know what I mean? So it's different ways you can hook a
Those
peanut.
saltine crackers, get
Yeah,
that crackers on.
absolutely.
A
And I
hard cracker. So get that crackers on and spread it on and good to go. Sometimes we get all greedy in life and in our snack. We dip the crackers into the jar.
absolutely, and I see that my wife put crunchy Jif with grape jelly. So I want to give a shout out to my wife, Felicia Roberson.
Felicia, welcome, 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 welcome. Felicia
Yeah,
said crunchy jif. Oh, all right.
that
With
was
grape jelly. That's it, Felicia. Exactly. Grape jelly. If you ain't had grape jelly, you ain't had no jelly at all. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. I see my sister up here too, Jennifer. I see I think she know about that peanut butter too. So it's in the family.
After school snack.
Most
After school
definitely,
snack.
most
Slap it on.
definitely,
You get a
most
sandwich,
definitely.
cut it in half, and you're good to go. And don't be
Absolutely.
having more than one person, one sibling, because that's gonna have to be slicing up or something. See, I'm from a big family, so I know my mama know how to cut up things and
Yeah, cut that bread up
cut that bread up and yeah.
divide it amongst the children.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
that's how
right.
you do
See, I learned how to share. I learned how to share from that. I learned how to share. Like, yeah, one slice of bread, two slices of bread, put it together. We're gonna cut it in about four pieces.
Absolutely. So definitely that'll definitely work. So,
So let us jump into your book because since we know about peanut butter and jelly, now you said something is missing because this sure not the bread or the cracker.
absolutely. So I'm referring to my book, Peanut Butter and No Jelly, Something's Missing. So when I came up with this concept for this book, I'm dating back 2011. And that's when this was before I made my transition over to the West Coast, but I was in Atlanta. And one of my childhood friends I grew up with by the name of Dwayne Fernandez, but he goes by Diesel. Me and him were kicking it because he's like me. We very self-awareness. We read a lot of books that we used to read back in the days from the Willie Lynch story, Making of a Slave, and all of these books that captivated our mind. And so as we speak right now, I recall back then 2000, I said, hey man, I want to write a book about our the truth that's being held from our black people, empowering our women. And I came up with this concept of the book. It's been in transition since 2011, but I think God knew at that time I needed to be a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more time, and get some more experience for stuff to write about. And so through my time of writing this book, which took almost over, let's say 9 years, 10 years to write, because in between that, circumstances happen. Also, I learned a few things about, some relationships I had during that time. I learned other relations through those relationships. I learned about the individual that I was dating at that time, the circumstances they dealt with, the women, they had um, heartache and breaks from men, from being either sexually molested as a child, or coming from their father. They don't know who their father was, or they may have children that didn't have relationships with a father. So I saw this happening, and through even women friends that I was real close to, and I seen they were going through the same circumstance. I was, it bothered me, and I said, "Dad, I gotta write something about this, about empowering Black women and letting brothers know about the effect that they have, because a lot of us, um, whether we realize it or not, a lot of us, due to the fact our daughters, if we're not in our daughters' lives, they may go ahead and marry the wrong man or be with the wrong individual or seek love in the wrong places because they wanted it from their father, that father figure, and they're going to seek it in other things and get it from the wrong person, and then they wind up being misled. So fathers play a significant role, not only in boys' life. Your young daughter, our daughters as we speak right now are heartbroken because their fathers, whatever their fathers did in the past. So when I wrote this book, Peanut Butter and Jelly, it was a mixture of not just empowering people, but also to let them know, for all of these women, that God is with you, that God is standing before you, that no matter what you've been through, no matter what happened in the past, heartbreak, broken relationships, broken marriages, that God is here with you, and that you are still overcoming. He still loves you. You're still special, despite maybe the bad choices you make, despite your circumstances right now. But I just wanted them to believe and know how powerful they are. So when I talk about the book Peanut Butter and Jelly, something's missing. When I say something's missing, that means it's incomplete. Because if you have a peanut butter, you can't have a peanut butter and sandwich by itself, but the jelly would make it so complete. And just like in anything you do, peanut butter and jelly, it just goes together and makes the perfect sandwich. But something's missing. And in this book, I'm just talking about the things that are missing, because I'm trying to empower my people, which are the Black women and children, empower our Black men, give them food for thought. So you say, why this cover, right? Because this cover looks like something for a food magazine or recipe. The reason why I put it as peanut butter and I wanted the peanuts and the food thing on it is because, as I would say, it's food for thought. Food for thought, something for you to think about and ponder on. And so in this book, I just want to give a brief description, Lady V. Uh,
Yes.
we're talking about racial intent, the right to vote, oppression. Oppression is a malicious or unjust treatment or exercise of power and type of manipulation and control of marginalization of a specific group or people dealing with racial oppression, and class oppression referred to as classism, which is racial oppression as well. It's based on an income, wealth, education, status, and power. This is all about making one race superior and the other to look inferior, and how they use this method and tool to make one race superior, which is the white race. I'm not prejudiced or racist at all, but I'm just breaking true facts. And the truth is that they'll try to put us in a light where we always seem to be bad. Black is always bad. Even if you look up in a dictionary, there's something derogatory about black and white as being pure all the time. It's always in that reference. And so we have the media, the news, always putting us in the light of something bad and something negative. We're always shown in that light. And then they try to display it on TV for us to follow certain destructive behaviors, whether we see it on reality TV shows, whether we see it on the news, whether we see it in movies, where we always have to be the bad guy, the crook, the gangster, uneducated, always showing poverty, but they never want, and that's not even 100% truth, because we have a lot of black successful people that live in great areas, make honest living and money, but they always want to script us, as bad individuals and not showing anything positive about us. And so and right now, when I wrote this book, I was like, man, they leading our people the wrong way into so many things that are not right. And I wanted our culture to know how great they are when we talk about our ancestors, when we talk about great inventors, we talk about women of power that stood up with some dignity, that had integrity, that did not follow and what the world and what those who are trying to oppress us mislead us. I just, I wrote this book to wake them up spirituality, to give them some hope, because they gave up hope. We have a lot of Black women that don't have connection with God at all. And that also need to be another connection. Not only just Black brothers, we need more Black women to get back to their right standing, because God said what we're dealing with right now. God said, if you would bow down and pray and repent from your sins, I will heal the land. What he mean by heal the land is we're dealing with COVID-19. He will heal the land if those will bow down and pray. When we talk about these tropical storms and everything going on, it has been written these things will happen. But because we live in a world that's filled with sin, a lot of these things will continue to happen until we acknowledge God in our life and build a relationship. So in this book, I wrote this book because I knew during the when I was growing up in the 80s, and shame on those teachers that went up there and taught us the wrong things about our history. Because at the end of the day, the curriculum in school, we was not taught the truth. We was led and misled by all the lies about Christopher Columbus, about all of these holidays and all these things about Jesus being white, and all of these things that we were misled about. So from me being able to open my mind to open books and research it and to discover how great we are and the things that about our history that we don't even know. And as we speak right now, they're removing books from off the shelves because they don't want us to know, and they're feeding us a whole bunch of garbage on Channel Zero, which is TV, the devil's TV. And a lot of us is buying into all of this foolishness. I always tell people as I speak, and I'm going to speak the truth. It won't be light, but ignorance is the new fashion. It seems like everybody wants to wear it now. It's the new style that's in, the new trend, ignorance. And everybody's following suit. Whatever they put out, we go it up and we go follow it, which I call docile individuals. So, I just, when I wrote this book, it was just to empower people, to uplift people, to give them food for thought, something to think about. You don't have to stay in your situation. And I want you to be conscious and aware of those who try to oppress you and keep you where you are by distracting you with all the devices of the world to keep you where you at, because they want to keep you down, dumb, and depressed. So we don't have to be like that. Black people, we're better than that. And once you know that you're better than that, you'll do better. So, what I will say about this book is it's a great book. And it's not about the money for me. It's more about the message. I want
Right.
you to get the message so you can listen, it may not be everything that you want exactly, but I will tell you this. It's like eating a piece of chicken. You can get some type of meat out of it and throw out the bone, but you'll get something from it.
Some substance.
Something for your mind, because a lot of us are walking around mental vegetables.
Yes.
We won't read nothing. We won't do anything to stem our
Expand your mind. And I go to the word, I always use this word, mindset. You see, mindset is where you flip it around and you say, where do I set my mind? What do I set my mind on? How do I conform my mind? Where's my mind going? What am I achieving by setting my mind to something? So if you don't set your mind on something, you are not going to get change. And we seeking change. We seeking change. We want change. We want change. But what is it that you are doing to add to this wanting change? Wanting change. If you're stuck with the same mindset, you cannot accept change.
absolutely.
You
And so
cannot accept change because your mind is fixated in a certain way. It's bombarded, it's there. But if you don't break out of that shell, if you don't break out of that mold to say, I want change, but what is it that I am going to do as an individual and then collectively? Because you cannot work collectively until you work individual. We must
absolutely.
learn to do individual research, individual inventory. Then collectively, we have a set of people you don't reckon with.
Absolutely. So, and I agree with you 100% because I was one of those individuals. I don't get. You can't tell the truth. You can't tell people the truth if you can't tell the truth about yourself. And
That's it.
I had to start changing my mindset because I know how I used to be, and I knew I needed change because we all have a purpose, and our purpose was not just to pay bills, party, get drunk, and live life, however we want. We all have a purpose. We all have a calling. A lot of us is not even walking in our purpose, and
No.
we haven't even tapped to open it. God has great things for all of
And
us to
it's
do.
there. It's
Right.
there. It's there
It's there.
waiting.
Right. But none of us, we don't
But
want to
nobody's
touch
going to
it.
get it. And that's a problem because so many people will go to their grave unfulfilled. Purpose is nowhere near them. They're gonna go to their grave and I should have woulda. That's who they're gonna go to the grave with.
Absolutely.
Shoulda, woulda. No, shoulda, woulda cannot come back and say, "Oh, let's press rewind." You know how you look at we had back then they press rewind, fast forward, stop, pause, play on the stereo. You see, and that's what life is. Life is like the stereo button. You see rewind, you see pause, you see play, you see stop, you see fast forward. But how can we go fast forward when we stop? Or we pause and press play at the same time. We have two buttons pressing at the same time. No,
Absolutely.
no. Because the truth is over there. And then you listen, you're like, okay, I want to hear what they say. But the truth is waiting for you. Your passion is waiting for you. Your destiny is waiting for you. Your purpose is waiting for you. But are you going for it? What are you doing to go for it? And it's just like waving. Hey, I'm over here. You want to come get me? No. And this is when you sit there like, no, because. And you make all these excuses. No, because. But I'm over here. Well, what is it that you're going after? Someone made a statement and somebody said the grave is the richest place on earth. Not because they spend money, but because there's so many gifts and talents that are buried in the grave that were never put to use. Why?
Absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why would we put ourselves in the grave without using up what we got? When we were created, we all were created with something or many things. Some talents got developed, some gifts we got deposited in us, and we have to work it. We have to work it. But why not work it? Because the mind is set on something else.
Right. And I just want to add on to what you just said, and I agree with you 100%. So I will say this, and I understand it all. Why not? For a lot of us, and there's no excuses because I know some of us we just don't want to put in the work to do the change and take what it takes in order to get to that transition. A lot of us want everything brought to us, but don't want to put in the work. And then on the other half, a lot of us, and I was one of those individuals that come from an environment where you don't even know your potential because you're so distracted and blinded by what you already know. So we're just accustomed to our certain ways. But one of the hardest things that I learned for any individual, I don't care who you are, what color you are, change is the hardest thing because
Oh,
it requires self-control and discipline.
oh,
It's discipline.
everything.
It requires self-control and discipline. And if you can't, you don't have any self-control and discipline in your life, and can't tell yourself no or tell your flesh no, you're gonna be like that hamster on a wheel that never gets off. It keeps
That's
going
it.
and going and going, and it's either you're going to just keep going and wear yourself out, or you're going to have to get sick and tired of your life and say, I got to do something different. My way is not working. Let me do things God way now, and just surrender
No,
your life and
absolutely.
give up all your habits, all your ways, and give it to God and repent. But I will say this, sis, we all need to deprogram
Oh,
and
you better say it now. Go ahead.
we
Say
need to
it.
we need to deprogram and detox as people, as individuals. Take a look at yourself and be real with yourself. Do you love the life that you're living right now? Do you like it?
Honestly, honestly.
Or did you, or are you just settling for this life? Because God has a greater purpose for you, but you're not tapping into it. So I will say this: deprogram yourself and start all over. Be careful of what you're watching and pouring into your thinking.
Gravitating.
Yeah, whether it be music, whether what you're watching or who you're around. Because if you're around negative people, whatever, that's what you're putting out in the universe. It's gonna become a part of you. So you got to start thinking differently, start doing things differently, start moving differently, start putting yourself in a different circle, and your circle might get even smaller once you decide to step out. It might turn to a dot, but that's okay because now you done moved out all of that negative energy from you. And just because you consume so much of it, you have to get stuff out of your life. Get all that baggage out your life so God can to start elevating things in your life. Right now, you got too much stuff in your ears talking to you. You're confused. You're lost.
Because the thing about it, bro, the thing about it, my dear brother, is people want to go on diet. You see what they are different kind of diets. People want to go on diet so they can look all a certain size. Oh, so I want to go on this diet and that diet and this diet. But what is the diet that you're going on for your mind? Or are you ready to detox your mind? I just do like a reprogram. It's like where I go back to the stereo, rewind and come again. It's time for you to reprogram what you are taught, relearn, retaught, just retrain your mind to say, all right, there got to be a better way.
Absolutely.
There got to be a better way. Because your way, if you're not following the path of God, like literally following that path, you're going your way.
Absolutely. And I agree
You're
with
going your way. And all he's saying, go my way, and we got this. Go my way. No. So you have to reprogram your mind in a certain way. When you reprogram your mind, then we'll find out what is the truth. Because God himself is truth.
Right.
How can you know who truth is if you don't reprogram your mind, detox your mind, get out all of that nonsense out of it, and start afresh? Like, bing, let's start afresh.
Start all over.
Let's start this all over. Let's take this from the scratch because we are not going to be adult and still drinking baby milk.
Right. It's not too late. It's not too late. I don't care.
And it's not too late to say, all right, I am not a baby anymore, so I don't want baby formula. I want real food, some grits and thing, we want some real food. Like you said, potato. We want the grits and fish, and we want all this good stuff. We're not going to be drinking formula because we are supposed to be grown. So it's time for us to grow up. And I oftentimes say, it's time for us to grow up and mature into what we were created for.
Absolutely. And
It's time for us to grow up.
May I add this piece as well?
Yes, because we're going to take a commercial break in just a minute.
I'm just going to add this real quick before you go to commercial break. And for those who may struggle with the ability to change, let me just let you know this. I was once there too, and you just need to understand this. You're not going to be able to do this on your own. Change, you're going to need a higher source depending on what you're dealing with and struggling with. But your highest source is God, and God gives us the Holy Spirit, and which help us to struggle with the things, to help us with the things that we struggle with, whether it be our anger, our temper, to help us with other things that we may struggle with, maybe lust, temptation, alcohol, drugs, all these other things that we've been struggling with, hurt, pain. You can't overcome these things unless you have a higher source, which is God. So that's going to mean going into prayer, talking to God and asking him, giving him all your burdens and letting him work in your life and start improving things, restoring restoration in your life and bringing family and members and friends back together, changing your mindset. Only God can change your heart. We can't change the heart of people or change people at all. Don't think you can change another person that's been giving you problems or you've been trying to change it. It's not going to work. Only God can do it, and you just have to bring it to Him in prayer and move out the way and be patient and let Him work. Remember, people have been dealing with stuff for 30 years, so that change is not going to happen overnight. God got to break it down. It's like a chisel with a rock. You got to keep scraping it down because you got to get all of that stuff off of us that's been we've been holding for 10, 30 years. So that detoxing program, Cool V, that's what I'm talking about. And a lot of us need some self-healing. We got to dig deep and look at ourselves and get the answers for all the stuff that's in the past. We can't live in the past no more. The past is the past. We have to live in the future. And I will always say this: a saint has a past and a sinner has a future.
So we are back. Welcome back. And I just want to just thank everyone for tuning in. And as you hear our brother, our King brother here speak the truth. Know the truth is God Himself. And as we get closer to God, we will get closer to know who we truly are. So as we wind down in this episode, I'm going to ask you one question. Everyone, name like how many peanut butter brand can you name? Put that in the comments and let us know. And we asked it earlier, what was your favorite? So if you're just tuning in, you can list the amount of peanut butter brand you can remember from your childhood days. And maybe you're still having peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So we are going to roll right back into the episode as we're about to wind down the episode. My King brother, welcome back.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Pleasure,
Yeah.
definitely pleasure.
So this has been juicy, juicy, juicy. And I told you I have my book, I have my pencil, I have my pen, and I'm turning pages here. And I'm just like, take the screen, brother. Go ahead and take the platform because I'm writing down stuff. I am a writer, not an author. I'm a writer. I like to write. So you say
Absolutely.
something, I'm trying to catch a speed. I'm trying to take the speed here. Like, well, hold on. Can you say that again? So I love it. I love every bit of it. I love the truth. The truth, what it says, I might sound cliche. The truth will set you free.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's what this all about. How free are you? Exactly how free are you in your mental state of mind? How free are you in your spiritual life, in your financial life, in your emotional state of mind? How free are you as a person? And that is it. So we're going to ask you one question here. At
Sure.
what point did you know that you needed change? Because change is real and the struggle is real, just the same way. At what point? Tell us about that one point when you know you had to make that change.
Well, the one point in my life that I definitely knew that it was an awakening for me is when my mom's passed away in 2014. And at that time, that was very devastating time for me. And I really hit rock bottom. And, I went from like half of me was dead. I didn't even care when my mom's passed away. And I was just all over the place. And, I used to get, I was getting in trouble with with the law. We have to be honest about ourselves.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I was getting in trouble with the law. And I was also, just in bad situation. The enemy thought he had me because I was almost, to tell the truth, I was almost homeless at one point, but God didn't let me go homeless. But I
Mm-hmm.
seen all of that, and I saw the things that He did in my life, and I knew that, I had to make a change. I had to make a difference because I always had a relationship with God, even though I was on the other side of the fence. And a lot of us think because we're living in sin or we doing bad, we doing wrong, that God doesn't love us. He still loves us the same. We're still
Yes.
His children, but He just wants us to come on back home. And
Yes.
so I've been on the other side of the fence, even though I had knowledge and all of that, and I knew, but my lifestyle didn't go with what I knew. And so I knew I had to change in order for me to grow. I had to mature and grow up. And that was one of the things, and just leave a lot of stuff behind and alone, and in order for me to grow and progress and move forward. So at that time, that's when I decided to give my life to God and to help me with the things I struggle with, to help remove some things out of me that were no good. Because sometimes we got to get all of that junk up out of
Mm-hmm.
for us to grow. And so that's when I knew I had to make a change. And in that change process, it opened up doors for me to write my book because I was so busy. See, a lot of us are so busy doing so much other stuff that has no subjective at all. We can't get stuff accomplished. So the reason why I couldn't get this book done because I was out there, to be honest, out in the street partying, running around, doing stuff I had no business doing, wasting time. And this was my
The book
potential.
was waiting for you.
Look, this was what God blessed me with, creativity. And through that creativity, I grew up in New York City where back in the days, in the 80s, riding on back of the train. And for those who know me and those who are
Mm-hmm.
listening, it was a fashion show, in the morning coming from school. And it's, for those who like clothing and fashion, it was a big thing for us in New York City on the, growing. It was a rough ride because you was back there with all the hoodlums and all the dudes and
Yes.
all the fly chicks in back of the train with the door knockers, the earrings, the Gucci, so we grew into like, for the guys, they hit the polo, the gas, the Tommy Hilfiger. So I grew from,
Boo-boo.
yeah, all of that stuff, right? So we in back of the, everybody, you in the back of the train, you better have your stuff correct, so I come from that era. And, so that's when I tuck into a liking of fashion. I always like clothes, always like to dress, always, and it had to be that type. I could throw in some H&M, I could switch it up, depending on, I always have to be name brand stuff, but I always took a liking to fashion. And so what I
So with that
really,
said, what we have brewing.
yeah, so what we have brewing, sis, and I got to send you some products, some items too. That I'm working on it. But also I have my brand. I know it's small, and for those who can't see it, it's CT4R, what represents me, and it stands for Truth for Real. And what I'll say about this brand, which is coming out soon for those who are listening, CT4R is a brand that represents truth. So if you live, breathe, and seeking truth, this brand is for you. Not only have truth on the inside, but why not wear it on the outside and let it represent what you stand for, who you are. So what this is what that brand is for. And I'm keeping it, stylish for anybody to wear. Your mother can wear a t-shirt.
Hey.
And it's you can wear. I got hoodies, hats,
Yes.
sneakers. So I'm always thinking about the
What's
early
next?
style, and try to keep people in tune with fashion. So hopefully, it's not about I'm just standing for truth, for those who live for truth, those who are honest about life, about themselves, about the oppression, about systematic racism, about God, that's seeking truth to our Lord and Savior. This brand is for you. CTR4. So I hope just look out for it soon. I'll be putting it out soon, and I pray for show some love, show some support, and represent the truth if that's what you stand for. Don't be afraid to stand in the light because you worrying about for those that are in the dark that's going to criticize you. Stand for what's right, and if it's righteous and it's the truth, and no matter what it is, what your truth is, this brand is for you.
And how can they get the hold of the book?
Well, the book is
And
on.
your social media handle, how can we follow you to see when all this good stuff is coming in place?
Definitely. So the book, and I'm coming with an upcoming book, is Brothers of Lost Souls, which I plan to put out towards the end of this year. Is for all the Black men because we deal with stuff. We deal with a lot of stuff that women can't relate to. We have our own
Yes.
problems. We come from broken homes. We're
Yes.
dealing with our ego, low self-esteem. We've been misled as well. So we're dealing with issues. So I have a book for my brothers, whether you're young or old, what I call food for thought. You're going to get something out of it. I hope that you can apply it to your life. And then you can go on my website as we speak right now and get the book, Peanut Butter and No Jelly, Something Missing, $16. Shipping is included. Us also on Amazon Kindle. If you want to get it on a Kindle, you're not into paperbacks and you just want to be able to read it on your phone, you can go into Amazon Kindle and get it for $16 as well. All you got to do is type in Peanut Butter and No Jelly, Something Missing by the author C. Truth. And you can get the book on there as well. So look out for future projects from me. I'm always in touch with my friend, my sister V. And I'll be, posting stuff for those, and I'll be advertising my gear for those who wear it. I just want us to do better. That's all.
Yes.
That's all as people. Just do better. Stop all this jealousy. Stop all this hate.
And
Stop all this
competition.
killing and fighting. We're killing each other over stuff, over
Because
games.
we're competing. We're competing.
For nothing. We're like 100 rats in a box with one box of cheese, and we're fighting over all of this stuff. None of this stuff is ours. We don't own any of it. It
Right.
all belongs to God. We don't own it. When you leave with nothing. You was born in this world with nothing. You're gonna leave with nothing. Stop all of this. We gotta stop. And we gotta stop letting them divide us. They're using devices to divide us, to keep us divided, because they know together we're strong. We're strong, Black people, whether it be and we're definitely strong financially, but we won't put it to use.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that we could do, but that's another topic to have that
I
we
know,
can
right? We're
do.
gonna have to have another episode with you on here, brother. I'm telling you, we're gonna have another episode bringing you right back because that's what we do here on The Question. You see, that is how we do. We come back, we bring you back. And I oftentimes says this, that to my left, there is a chair, and that's the guest chair. So now that you present yourself to opening season 3 of The Question, your name is now stamped on the guest chair.
Thank
Simple mean you are welcome back here anytime you want. It's like coming home to your mama and your
you.
mama say, welcome home, welcome home. So you are very much welcome here. Whatever you're working on, whatever your plans are, always drop in and let me know what is happening with you. You are very much welcome here. I tell people this, I don't have fans, I have family. You are now family to me.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I thank you. May God bless you for having this platform and outlet for artists, entrepreneurs, authors, anything that's spiritual. Thank you for this platform. May God bless you in all your endeavors, and those who listened in, thank you for your time. May
Yes.
God bless you as well, and may you find what is your purpose in life,
Mhm.
and dig deep into it. I wish that for everybody to
Yes.
find their purpose and get into a relationship with God. He won't steer you wrong. He'll open up doors that you couldn't open, that need to be unlocked. He got the key for it. He's just waiting for you to knock on the door so he can open it.
And I couldn't say it any better. All I'm going to add to that is listeners, viewers, I send peace to you. I send peace to your home, to you personally, to your community, to your country, to the world. I send peace. I don't speak from my mouth, but I speak from my heart as I send this off to you, my king brother, to you, my viewers, Felicia, Jennifer, and those others who are viewing on the back. I send peace towards you, prosperity towards you, and I send support and success towards you. However you wish to define success, know that success is waiting for you, but remember, you cannot succeed by yourself. I want to take this time out to thank you for gracing us on this first episode with the truth. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I want to say this episode is the truth. And another truth is we all had a peanut butter sandwich without no jelly. Thank you so much for gracing us,
Absolutely. And
Casey.
and I just wanted to say for those who may be interested, I think I gave it to them. They can go to seetruthforreal.com if you're interested in purchasing a book. I'm ready to ship them out, and we just want to, embrace people with knowledge and awareness so they can be enlightened and start moving in a different direction and passing it down to their children so they can enlighten them, because you're not going to get it in the schools. They're not going to teach you it. They
No.
don't want to. They don't want you to know how great you are. We're great. We're great. We're great. We're talented. We can do much better than what we're doing. So thank you for this. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much. And I want to say thank you. I want to say a quick thank you to our supporter, Total Radio Entertainment, who have sponsored us, who have done great. And you can listen to this podcast next week at 2 p.m. at totalentertainmentradio.com. As we close out tonight, just remember, ask yourself, am I free enough one way or the other? This is your host, Verona Willis-Brown, saying, be well, be safe, and be successful, because greatness lies in you and only in you. And it's only you that can determine how great you want to be. Thank you again for tuning in as we end this broadcast tonight.